The quiet pattern. Why her story feels familiar. Have you ever sat in silence, holding your own heart, wondering, how did I get here again? You are thoughtful, self-aware. You've read the books. You know the red flags. And yet, your heart keeps choosing chaos over calm, intensity over safety, mystery over consistency. This video isn't here to judge you. It's here to sit beside you, like a soft whisper in a dark room, reminding you, you are not alone in this pattern. And more importantly, you are not broken. Intelligence is not armor. Why insight doesn't prevent pain? Being intelligent doesn't make you immune to pain. It just makes you better at rationalizing it. Smart women often build internal empires. Logic, clarity, boundaries. But when love enters through the back door of the soul, it bypasses logic and speaks directly to something older, something deeper, something that didn't get what it needed. Love isn't a problem to be solved. It's an imprint to be felt, understood, and rewritten. Jung and the shadow lover, the men we choose to heal what was broken. Carl Jung once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Sometimes, the wrong man isn't really about him at all. He's a mirror, a messenger, a living projection of your inner world, of the parts you haven't yet brought into the light. He might represent the father who was emotionally distant, the lover who taught you to chase affection, or the chaos that felt like home when you were too young to name it. You don't fall for the wrong man because you're foolish. You fall because part of you is still trying to finish a story with a different ending. Emotional echoes, the pull of childhood templates. Love is often a reenactment of what we craved, of what we lost, of what we learned love was supposed to feel like. If you grew up walking on eggshells to keep peace, you might confuse unpredictability with passion. If you only received affection after performing, you might now mistake being chosen for being worthy. These emotional templates are invisible blueprints. And even when we outgrow the pain, the pattern lingers until we choose differently, consciously. Why power meets chaos when feminine strength feeds the wound? The strong woman often carries a deep ache. She holds everyone else together, but inside, she longs for someone to hold her gently. Yet when strength becomes identity, she may attract men who need saving, not men who can stand beside her as equals. He sees her power, but also senses her open wound. And unconsciously, he steps into the role that reactivates the very thing she's been healing from. But remember this, you are not meant to be a container for brokenness. You are meant to be a mirror for wholeness, breaking the cycle from projection to presence. Healing begins when we stop trying to finish an old story with new characters. When you meet someone now, can you pause this? Is this love, or is this familiar pain wearing a different face? Real love feels safe. It doesn't need fixing. It doesn't leave you guessing. When you reclaim your inner child, when you sit with her and say, you are enough now. You don't have to prove anything anymore. You shift. You begin to attract from your worth, not your wound. Closing. You were never broken. To the woman listening, who has loved deeply, broken quietly, and still believes in something sacred, this pattern doesn't define you. It's a season, not a sentence. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It's a compass. Your pain is not a weakness. It's an invitation. You're not here to be endlessly strong. You're here to be seen, to be met, to be loved in the exact places you once learned to hide. You don't need to earn love. You only need to remember who you are. When you stop reaching for someone else to complete you, this is your homecoming, and it starts with you. Take a moment and ask yourself, why is it that a woman as intelligent, as self-aware, as emotionally attuned as you keeps finding herself in relationships that quietly break her heart? It's not because you're not enough. It's not because you don't love yourself. It's because somewhere within you, there's a story that was never given closure. The part of you is trying to rewrite a chapter from the past, hoping that this time it ends differently. And here's the paradox. The smarter you are, the more subtly you can fall into the trap of your own mind. You analyze. You understand. You've done the work. But the heart doesn't speak in logic. It speaks in memory, in resonance, in echoes from the time before you had words to explain your pain. Jung called it the shadow, the place where you buried everything that felt too much, the longing, the fear of abandonment, the desire to be chosen. The man you choose may not be what your soul truly needs, but he's a mirror, a reflection of the wounds you've yet to fully bring into the light. He triggers the ache not to punish you, but to remind you, it's time to come home. You are not wrong for loving. You are simply trying to complete a story that was left unfinished long ago. And here's the gift. You can write a new one, consciously, compassionately, present with yourself. And then, love won't be a battlefield of proving and performing. It will be a meeting, soft, sacred, and slow, between two whole beings. You were never meant to be endlessly strong. You were meant to be honest with what you feel. Because the truth is, you were never broken for loving. You were simply on your way home, back to yourself.